Welcome back to another episode of the Late Night Show with Dr. Kojo. I am your host, Dr. Kojo. And tonight we're talking about AuDHD and transitions. This is going to be a great live stream. I'm extremely excited for it. We are going live a little bit later than usual. We were on time all week. But as you know, with neurodivergence, our definition of consistency is going to look different from other people. So ain't no shame in my game, but we're here and we're live and we're ready to get going. I'm excited to talk about transitions, which is something that I personally struggle with. But before we get into it, go ahead and use the comment section to let me know where you're checking in from, and also let me know your name. We are streaming live on the following platforms. We're live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, both my YouTube pages, Twitch, and on TikTok. So go ahead, grab you a seat. Come on in, get ready, make yourself a home. Stretch. Y'all heard my back crack, right? I crack my back, I crack my neck. I don't know if it's good for you, but I still do it. Just getting ready for tonight's live stream. Pearl on TikTok. What's going on, Pearl? Max on TikTok. What's up? What's up? See my TikTokers filing on in. Grab you a seat, get comfortable. Grab you a seat, get comfortable. We are streaming live on not just TikTok, but also Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, both my YouTube pages, Twitch as well, and then TikTok. We have somebody on TikTok from Spain. Then we have Pearl from Canada. Look at us having an international audience. Then we have Leilani, who's checking in from New York City. I already know that. So NYC in the house. Leslie, how are you? Good to see you. Lucy checking in from Guatemala. Mickey Ficky, Guatemala. I just like saying that. We have somebody checking in from Ghana, which is my home country. And to say, we got Australia in the house, Arizona, California, the home squad. Okay. We have people checking in from all over. I'm excited for this live stream tonight. We're talking about transitions. Okay, let me look at my settings real quick. How are my settings looking like? All right, now I'm rocking with it. Boom, perfect. Connecticut in the house. Polly, Wally, Golly. What a name. How's that for alliteration? Polly, Wally, Golly. Yeah, Leilani, I'm being international. I think it's intentional. We are being intentional, but international. We have an international audience, and I am very grateful for technology, which allows me to reach people from all over the world. I just want y'all to know that I'm living my dreams because of y'all. I just want to make that very clear. I am living my dreams because of y'all. I have to pause every now and then and remind myself of how grateful I am to have found this audience of people. If I had y'all when I was younger, I wouldn't have felt so down, so lost. I really appreciate y'all. We got people from all over, and I sometimes I get in my head. A lot of times I get in my head, and a lot of times I will say I'll be ungrateful, and I'll lose sight of what I have, being fixated on the things that I want. But when I take a beat and I pause and I realize what's going on, I see all the love that I have online, the people who have shared experiences, and people who we're on the same wavelength. It means so much to me. So I just want to say I really appreciate y'all from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate every single one of y'all, and getting to interact with y'all online is a blessing. So I just want y'all to know that without y'all, I wouldn't be who I am today. I wouldn't be where I'm at. So I need y'all, and I appreciate y'all. And as we go across the country looking for, our people, I would love to see some of y'all in person not next month. In April, I start my comedy tour. We'll kick it off in Houston, Texas on the 26th of April. Link is in the bio to get tickets. We'll be at the All Jokes Aside Comedy Club. Then the very next month, we will be in Nashville, Tennessee, which is my home. I grew up in Nashville, Tennessee, in the projects, but I grew up in Nashville, Tennessee. And it will be so exciting to do stand-up comedy from my hometown, my Nashville crowd. So Use the link in the bio to get tickets. If you're in Nashville, we'll be at the Zany's Lab. So I'm looking forward to seeing y'all. I'm looking forward to seeing y'all. All right. So Tanya says, I'm from Murfreesboro. Okay, well, you're right there. You're pretty close to Nashville, about 30, 35 minutes out. You're pretty close. San Diego in the house. San Diego in the house. On TikTok. Awesome. You put the AU. Is the AU for gold? Does the AU mean gold, or is the AU for autism? I'm assuming the AU is for autism. I'm assuming the AU is for autism. Coco, how are you? And likewise, Jaden is from Ohio. Ohio in the house. Okay. Ohio in the house. Melissa is in Canada, but repping the Caribbean. Okay. Awesome. Yes, a Titans fan. I'm a Titans fan. That's how you know that I'm loyal. If ladies, or I mean, even for the guys, if you're dating somebody who's a Titans fan, that's how you know that person will not cheat on you. They're loyal. Charlotte, North Carolina in the house. Will you ever come to Texas? I'm starting to tour in Texas. We're starting to tour in Houston, Texas. That was the plan last year. Last year, I didn't go on tour. The year before, I went on tour. We were in Atlanta, Georgia. Then we went to Chicago, Illinois. And actually, last year, I did shows in Juneau, Alaska. I did multiple shows in Juneau, Alaska. Then the plan was to kick it off in Houston for my headlining tour, and I got burnt out. I wasn't able to do it. I was not able to do it. I had to learn how to get sleep and learn how to take care of myself. So I said that when we kick the tour off again, we would start off in Houston. So we'll start off in Houston April the 26th at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Coco says, Kojo, my therapist saw you and said, he's really good looking. What your therapist look like? All right, let me not get in trouble today. Paige is here from Mississippi. Here, I'm from Bulldog Country, home of the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Paige, I know about the Bulldogs. We have a player on the Titans called Jeffrey Simmons, and he played at Mississippi State. So I know about the Bulldogs. I know about them. I know Jackson, Tennessee in the house. Okay. Jackson, Tennessee in the house. Okay. All right, look, I got to do some shows in New Zealand at some point. We're going to get there. He's really good looking. What your therapist look like? Type she. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about tonight's topic. And I just want to say, anytime, we pull in a pretty decent number of followers every week. I'd say on a weekly basis, we get anywhere from 15 to 30,000 new followers across all the different platforms. So people are constantly being introduced to my content. So that means that a lot of people who are here are new. And this is a good time to remind y'all that in my comment section, we have Democrats and Republicans kissing each other. Okay. We have Democrats and Republicans French kissing. Okay. That means that even though we don't see eye to eye and we believe different things, we are all nice to each other. So this is a safe space. All right. But every now and then you get some trolls in. We have some moderators in the chat. If you see them, block them, give them no attention. When you remove attention away from trolls, then they're starved and they're not able to do anything. But this is a safe space for everybody. So no homophobic, no sexist comments, nothing race. Anything that is disparaging will get you blocked, all right? And we have a one-strike policy, all right? A one-strike policy. Yeah, Coco, that's right. Republicans and Democrats French kissing in the live stream chat. THUP. No shows in San Diego, but I gotta get some shows going on in San Diego. San Diego is a wonderful city. Wonderful city. Massachusetts in the house. Karenlin. That's a very nice name. Karenlin. Wisconsin in the house. Okay. Here from Canada's capital. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna guess and say Toronto, but I could be wrong. I feel like I'm wrong. I know I'm wrong. I just feel like it's Toronto. Ottawa. Okay, Ottawa's. I knew that. Ottawa is the capital. I knew that. Leilani, how do we make Leilani a moderator on YouTube? Let me ask my assistant. He's good at this type of stuff. Guys, the things that I'm good at is just a few things. Hey, John, how do I make somebody a moderator on YouTube from the StreamYard? If you can do it, it helped me out so I can focus on the live stream. I want to make Leilani Armani moderator on YouTube. If you're able to do that, I appreciate it. If not, we'll handle it after the fact. Thank you. So we're working on that. Rosie is from Australia. Dee's from Texas. Justice Baby from Texas. Okay, we have people from all over the world. Tune in to hear what I have to say about transitions and why they are so hard. Okay, so I have a little list here, but you have to understand that if you are neurospicy, okay, if you're watching this live stream and you're neurospicy, more than likely you struggle with transitions. All right. And when I say transition, I'm talking about going from one task to the next. It's going to be hard for you. And this is why some of us, it takes us so long to go to sleep. Our nighttime routine, to go from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. There's a delay in between tasks that we have. And the evidence shows that, especially people with ADHD, there's a longer delay in between tasks as compared to neurotypical people. So what is this going to mean? This will mean that you won't get as many things done throughout the day. And sometimes you won't even get to the third task of the day because somewhere in between task 1 and task 2, you got caught up. You got sidetracked. You forgot what you were doing and you were thrown off. And the reason why it's very important to know this is because when you know that you struggle with transitions, you're going to be nicer to yourself. Number one. Number two, you're going to create a system that allows you to go from one thing to the next with relatively little difficulty. It'll still be somewhat difficult, but it'll be easier for you. Okay. And third, you're going to put together a to-do list that is realistic, something that you can actually achieve. So in order for us to get things done, we don't have to do more, but we have to remove the friction in between us and the task that we want to do. Okay. And when you know that you have a neurodivergent brain and that it takes you a long time to switch from one task to the next, you're going to be nicer to yourself. I have my list here, and I have a small note here that transitions combine executive function, sensory regulation, and emotional momentum. All right. So in order to transition from one thing to the next, you have to have a good amount of executive functioning. You have to have sensory regulation, and you have to have emotional momentum. But guess what? All of those three things are very difficult for the person who is neurodivergent. Think about what we struggle with as neurospicy people. One of our main struggles is executive dysfunction. So if that's difficult for us, how the heck are we going to get from one task to the next? It's so hard for us to get up and clean our rooms. It's so hard for us to get up and sort the laundry. It's sometimes so hard for us to get up and even take a shower. This is one of the more embarrassing parts of neurodivergence. Struggling with your personal hygiene, taking a shower. I used to really struggle with taking a shower as a kid. In middle school and in high school, it was a thing, but I'm getting a little bit older in high school, and I'm becoming interested in girls, and girls want you to, they want you to wash your butt. So I would take showers, but without something to remind me that I needed to get up and take a shower, I still wouldn't take a shower. And it's not because I didn't want to take a shower. I want to take a shower, but the hard part was the starting. The starting of a task and the stopping of a task are very difficult when you're neurodivergent. So you have to understand that transitions, if you struggle with this, you need to make it as seamless as possible to go from one thing to the next and then to the next. Okay. And this may not look the same for everybody. And your plan to go throughout the day will not look like other people's plan, but you have to know how to do things in a way that it makes sense for you. For me, whenever I'm making videos and I'm dressed up like this, so let's take today, for example. I tried to get to the gym early this morning. I couldn't get to the gym on time. So I'm going to have to hit the gym after this live stream. Before I go to the gym, I am going to make videos. The videos that I have to make today, I'm going to make those videos while I'm dressed up in the suit. Because if I go to the gym and I put on my tank top and my gym outfit, my gym wear, to change into my gym clothes, all right, and then to change out of my gym clothes and back into the suit, that's too much work for me. It's just too much work for me. And it should sound like it's a simple thing, right? Take off these clothes, put on gym clothes, come back from the gym, take off the gym clothes, and then put these clothes on. What's so difficult about that? In theory, it doesn't sound like it's a difficult thing, but it's actually very difficult because I'll tell myself that I'm going to do it, but I don't do it. It's harder than it looks. Because first I got to put my shirt on, and I have to put this on, then maybe iron the pants. Even I probably won't iron the pants, but even if I put the pants back on, it just takes so much work to transition from one task to the next. And this is assuming that I go to the gym and I don't get caught up talking to people at the gym. All right. A lot of times I'll go to the gym. I talk to everybody at the gym. I talk to the old guy who looks like he's about to turn 80 years old. I talk to all the high schoolers. I talk to the college students. I talk to everybody at the gym except for my gym crush. I'm going to talk to everybody at the gym except for my gym crush, because you don't talk to your gym crushes. They're only there purely for motivational reasons. But I talk to everybody at the gym. So I'm going to get sidetracked. So what do you mean I go to the gym, I put on my shorts, tank top, I come back home, and I change back into what I was already wearing? That's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And Paige says, I relate to this on a catastrophic level. Look, if you can relate to this, then you have to understand that you're not weird. Ain't nothing wrong with you. You just have to come up with a better plan. You need a better plan that takes into account the type of brain that you have. How many things can you do with your current outfit? So that way, when we take this off, like, it's off. We don't have to put it back on. It's off. John said, what's her email address? John, I don't know her email address, but I'll ask for it. I don't know if that's how YouTube moderators work, and if it works for StreamYard, but I'll ask Leilani for her email address. Leilani, if you're still here in the chat, can you drop your email address? And we will figure out this thing together. Someone says, if I have accommodations, things are so much easier. Right. Look, when you're neurodivergent, you need to have some type of external support. Not having the support that you need will lead to neurodivergent burnout, which is not a good look on you. It's not a good look on anybody, honestly, but it'll lead to neurodivergent burnout. All right. And speaking of transitions, I made a video about this. I think the YouTube video that I dropped today was talking about transitions. So if you're following me on YouTube, go ahead and, in your free time, check out that video, check out that content. But we're going to talk about everything that I spoke about in that video on this live stream. Someone has to make gym clothes you can wear at the office. That would be, that'd be convenient. Crushers. I was just talking about the gym crush. I said gym crushers are not meant for you to talk to. They're just there for motivational purposes. You're not supposed to talk to your gym crush, because if you talk to them, a crush is a lack of information. So if you talk to them, you run the risk of you not liking them, and then you lose all of your motivation. So gym crushes are not meant for you to talk to. And the one time that I talked to my gym crush, and I went on a date with her. It was kind of disappointing. Actually, not kind of. It was disappointing. I should have just left her a gym crush. All the motivation that you can get when it comes to the gym, you need all of that. You lift heavier weights, you have better mental health. So don't talk to your gym crush. They're only there for motivation. That's all. That's all. Motivational purposes only. All right. All right. So the 3 reasons why transitions are so hard for the AuDHD brain is because transitions make the brain do too many things at once. Too many things at once. Leilani, send your email to assistant@kojosarfo.com. It'll go straight to my assistant. Assistant@kojosarfo.com. I bet there's tons of crushes on you. Oh, if I'm somebody's gym crush, I hope it helps them get a great workout. I hope she's able to reach all of her goals. So yeah, I hope they're able to reach all of their goals using me as their gym crush, because that's probably as far as things will go. You know how it is as neurospicy people. We need something to obsess over, and sometimes it's a person. And if the person doesn't know that you're obsessing over them, as long as you don't do anything weird, like that's fine. Limerence where you don't connect with the person is fine. Now, obviously, there's a point in which it becomes stalking. Don't stalk anybody, please. I'm not talking about that. Don't stalk nobody. But I'm just saying, use it for motivational purposes. All right, motivational purposes. All right. Transitions make the brain do too many things at once. Okay, too many things at once. How many things can the neurodivergent brain do at once? Now, the funny thing about this is, when you're in a situation where there's a lot of chaos, you can actually do a lot of things. For example, that's why I say that I think the best job I've ever had in my life is working at the psych hospital, the acute inpatient unit at the psych hospital. So people who come in because of substance-induced psychosis, people coming in on their first psychotic break, people coming in, they're manic, they haven't slept in weeks. Acute inpatient psychiatry, I think that was the job where I excelled at the most, because there's so many things going on at once. So when it comes down to something that we're interested in, we can do a lot of things at once. But when you're transitioning from one task to the next, you're having to do a lot of things at once. You're having to stop one task, all right? Then you're having to start another task. In order to stop one task, you have to find a way to come to a stopping point. And we hate being interrupted in the middle of a task. So sometimes we're not ready to end the task, but the clock says that it's time to move on to the next thing. You don't want to stop, but you have to, because if you don't, you're going to be behind on the next thing. And now we're going to be playing the catch-up game all day, kind of like how it was today. So if you don't stop, then you're not going to have time for the next task, right? So we've managed to stop. Some way, somehow we stopped. Now we have to start another task. In order to start another task, we have to prepare ourselves for that task. And because things, sometimes when we think of a thing, we think of all the small tasks that it requires to get a thing to jump off. So taking a shower is not just taking a shower. You have to have soap. You got to make sure you have soap. You have to have your sponge or your washcloth. You have to have a towel. Do you have a fresh set of towels there? Are you out of towels? Have you done laundry? Okay, let's just assume that you have all of that. All right. In order to take a shower, you have to go into the bathroom, the restroom. You have to take off your clothes. Okay. And in between admiring your body in the mirror and stepping into the shower, you have to make sure that too much time is not going by. So you finally get into the shower. You're running the water. Maybe you run the water in advance like I do. Okay. Now you're in the shower. Now you're probably playing some music because you want to hear your favorite song. So now you're listening to music in the shower, and you put on Tupac's greatest hits or the greatest hits of Elton John. And now you're in the shower for a long time because you're just listening to all this music. So now we've managed to take a shower, but now we have to stop with the shower. Ain't it crazy how sometimes we don't want to take a shower, but when we get into the shower, we want to take the world's longest shower? Ain't it crazy? Starting and stopping a task is more difficult than you would imagine. It's pretty dang hard to start something and then stop. And now you've stopped it, you have to start another thing. You're asking the brain to do a lot of things on top of managing your emotions. You have to manage your emotions as well. What type of state are you in? Are you in a frustrated state? Are you in a good mood? If you're in a good mood, the likelihood that you won't have a lot of issues transition between tasks is pretty high. If you're in a good mood, you can probably go from one thing to the next. But how often are we in a good mood all the time? A lot goes into transitioning from one task to the next. And I think the safest thing you can do is to give yourself more time than necessary. Give yourself more time than needed to do a certain thing. Understand that things take way longer than you would expect. So I'll delude myself into thinking that I can get 10 tasks done in a day. And then I realized I only did 3. I'm like, okay, maybe 3 is the max. Maybe 3 is the max. And also, as somebody who's neurodivergent, I probably have, and this could be a stretch, but I probably have 5 to 6 good hours in a day where I can lock in on a very complex task and work very hard. I got 5 to 6 good hours in a day. We sleep for, let's say, 8 hours. So you have 16 hours left to do whatever you need to do. Out of those 16 hours, I would argue that less than half of those hours are hours that you can actually do things with. Are those good hours where you're operating at above 80% capacity with all the things that drain you? Think about it. How many good hours do you have in a day? I have about 5 to 6 really good hours. 5 to 6 really good hours. If I know I'm going to get interrupted in the middle of a task, I 9 out of 10 won't even start said task. Not my best attribute, but my brain cannot see past the fact that I won't get done with whatever it is I need to do. See, Paige, this is how I can tell you're in the right spot. This is exactly where you need to be. You are in the right spot. Yep. Because what we do is we have this all or nothing type thinking, where it's all or it's nothing. It's black or it's white. And this is why our definition of consistency is going to be different from other people. Because if you work best in binges, then maybe it's probably best for you to write, like let's say we're talking about writing. It may be best for you to write during the weekend and write 5 hours on Saturday, 5 hours on Sunday, instead of trying to write an hour and a half every day, Monday through Friday. It's not going to happen for you because if somebody interrupts you, you're done. So you may need blocks of uninterrupted time to do a certain thing. I know for myself, I have to. John, so she has to send her channel URL. Yeah, John, she said she'll email you so you can work that out with Leilani. But also see if there's a way to do it on StreamYard. I think that could be easier. I'm just guessing, but you probably know more than me. Somebody said, I've been called a completionist before. A completionist. I like that. A completionist. I'm the same way. Okay. 6 hours is my average positive productivity. And look, if you know this, then once you reach 6 hours, so actually once you get to 5 to 6 hours in a day, then you know that it's time to begin wrapping things up. Don't torture yourself and try and do more than 6 hours in a day. You'd be better off ending your day, taking your melatonin, hopping into bed, sleeping, and waking up with a refreshed brain to use those 6 hours the next day. And if you know that you only have 6 hours of average positive productivity, then those other 10 hours, you don't have to torture yourself. You can let your brain kind of roam free those 10 hours. You can use one of those hours to meditate. You can use one of those hours to work out. But you won't torture yourself with the notion of you having to be productive the whole day, because that's not even realistic. Who can do that? That's not realistic. That is not realistic. That is not realistic. All right. Now, the second reason why transitions suck for us, and I kind of alluded to this already, is that momentum is real and breaking it hurts. All right. So kind of like Paige said, where she doesn't want to do something if she knows that she can't finish a thing. And somebody on TikTok said that they had been referred to as a completionist. Breaking momentum is, first of all, in order to capture momentum, let's talk about how difficult it is to capture momentum. And we are at the 30-minute mark. So this is an ideal time for somebody to drop the magic word in the chat. And then it's time to get some water in. So somebody drop the magic word in the chat. And it's time to get the water in. Teresa saying yes on the momentum. I'll call it the flow state. Yeah, flow state is correct. Flow state is correct. Flow state is correct. Somebody can drop the magic word in the chat so Daddy can get some water in. And I like what Barney Blonde says. I'm a Tasmanian devil when I go by doing tasks. If I cannot stop, or I cannot stop. If I stop, I will stop. Right. Big cheers. Big cheers. All right, let's get some water in, y'all. My bladder is going to work overtime tonight. Mickey Ficky. Big cheers. Woo. Momentum is real and breaking it hurts. Momentum is real and breaking it hurts. You know how difficult it is to capture momentum? And this is not just for neurospicy individuals. This is for everybody. Whenever you capture momentum with whatever you're doing in life, you want to squeeze as much as you can out of it. Squeeze as much as you can when you have momentum. Lightning doesn't always strike twice. It doesn't always strike twice. Squeeze as much as you can. And I'm talking about momentum. Let's say you're an artist and one of your songs goes viral. Okay. You have a moment. You want to get as much as you can out of that moment. That's what I'm talking about. Now, in the day-to-day, when you have momentum, unfortunately, if you are writing and you've caught fire, your best ideas are coming out. Most days we can't write for 7 hours because we have to get up and do the next thing. And in the YouTube video, I made an example of you're working on a task, but at 3 o'clock, you have to go pick up the kids from school. You can't not pick up the kids from school. Well, you could. You could. You do that many times in a row. Guess what? They're going to call child protective services on you, or whatever they call it in your state. It could be a different name, but guess what? They're going to call CPS if you don't tend to the kids. You got to pick up the kids. You got to feed the kids. You can't say, oh, I have momentum. I don't want to break momentum. No. Maybe leave the writing until the weekend where you can work for 7 hours uninterrupted. But breaking the momentum is it's one of our pet peeves, actually. These hyper-focused interruptions is one of our pet peeves because you finally captured this momentum and it took you so long to start the task. In order to make progress on something, you have to start it. That's our problem 80% of the time. Think about everything that you want to do. If you're struggling with something, there's a good chance that you never even started it. A lot of y'all who think you failed on certain things that you want to do in life, you haven't even given it a chance. You never even started the thing. You have to start the thing to give yourself a chance to finish it. So if it's one of those days where you've managed to finally start the thing, okay? If you've managed to finally start the thing and you're making progress, and this is the most progress that you made in months, and somebody taps you on the shoulder, or your child taps you on the shoulder, like, Mom, I'm hungry. It's always a kid that's hungry. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. I mean, you could choose to tell your child to wait, but I mean, the kid's been waiting for a couple of hours. They are pretty damn hungry. So now you get up and you make them food. And when you sit down, you've lost that momentum. It's almost impossible to pick up where you left off at. Breaking the momentum hurts. Unfortunately, the way things are on a day-to-day basis, we have multiple things that we have to do. And when you break the momentum, it makes it difficult to return back to that thing. And also sometimes you breaking that momentum can take you out of the flow state that you were in. It's taking you out of the flow state. So now you move on from task A to task B. But instead of being present with task B, you're upset at the fact that you didn't finish task A. Not to even talk about the fact that we leave a lot of things unfinished. You know, we have this habit where we'll leave things unfinished, whether it's water bottles that are, you know, half empty, or maybe it's candy wrappers around the house where you have like a third of a chocolate bar there, or an assignment that you started and you only did 20% of it. When we do our best work, if I'm being honest, it's normally when we have the time to start something and see it through. That's why we are good at doing things that are difficult, but we really struggle with things that are quote unquote simple. Do a paper in 8 hours. If you give us 8 hours uninterrupted to do it, we'll write the best paper of all time. But if you force us, if you give us 16 hours to do a paper, but we have to do it 2 hours every single day, we'll spend those 2 hours doing nothing. We're not going to do anything, because this is how our brains work. It's all or nothing. It's all or nothing. And if I'm unexpectedly interrupted after I've entered the flow state, way I will spiral is crazy. Right. The spiraling after the focus has been interrupted is what prevents you from making progress with the very next thing. And it's not fun at all. It's not fun at all. So if you know this, it's important for you to manage your emotions and your impulses, because once somebody interrupts you, and guess what? Life is full of interruptions. When it happens, inevitably, you have to find a way to just take a deep breath in, take a deep breath out, without trying your best, or trying your best to not explode, okay? Because we don't have the right to explode on people only because we were upset that they interrupted us, all right? We don't have the right to explode on people. Things will piss us off. We have to figure out a way to hold our emotions in check. We have to figure out a way to hold our emotions in check. It's funny what people say I look like and sound like. I've received everything from Akon to LeBron James, or, you know, sometimes they call me LeBroke James. And one time, I'll never forget, one time, Tay Diggs is a handsome guy, so I appreciate the Tay Diggs comparison. One time, I'll never forget this. I was working at the psych hospital. It got to be like 11 years ago, a long time ago. I'm working at the psych hospital, and we had a patient get into a fight, and we had to, you know, just put him in restraints. But we had to just like hold him on the floor and help him calm down. So I'm holding this patient's wrist, right? And he's on the floor. We're trying to help him calm down because we just broke up a fight. This patient looks at me. First, he tries to spit at me. He misses. Then he looks at me and he says, "You look like Michael Blackson." And I'm like, damn, I got to get me a haircut. I can't accept that. I got to get me a haircut. I can't do Michael Blackson. I can't do Michael Blackson. I can't do that. I cannot do Michael Blackson. I'll do Tay Diggs. I'll do LeBron James. I'll do Akon. I won't do Michael Blackson. No ma'am, no ham, no turkey. I can't do it. I can't do it. He got me good. He really roasted me on that one. He got me good. I was like, dang, got me. He really got me. He really got me. And somebody says, Katie says, I can't even go pee if I'm doing a thing. This is one of the reasons why we hold our pee in. Facts, Katie. Big facts. And the reason why you hold your pee in is because you won't forget to pee. You have a physical reminder. Your bladder is talking to you saying, let me pee, let me pee, let me pee. I got to get rid of this pee. Your bladder is screaming at you, but you will forget to send an email. You will forget the task that you're doing right now. So that's why we hold our pee in, because we don't need a reminder for the pee. We have a constant reminder of the fact that we have to pee, but we don't have a constant reminder of the thing that we're working on. And this right here, oh, come on to the front and grab a neurodivergent jersey. Doctor, why am I watching your stream while I have 10 other Hey, Tiger 2, please try your best to get caught up on the work now. Try your best to get caught up on the work. Try your best. My kids have taught me this. Paige, it's interesting what we'll learn from kids. We learn so much from kids. We learn so much from kids. Oh, the bladder voice. Yeah, I would assume that the bladder would have a high-pitched voice. You would think. You would think. All right. The third reason why transitions are hard for us, those of us who have autism and or ADHD, our brains do better with a warning, not a surprise. Okay? Yeah. So our brain is this organ in our head that we have to tell our brains what to do. And if we don't do that, the brains will tell us what to do. If your brain is in control of you, life is probably not going to be that good. But if you are in control of your brain, if you are able to train your brain and your mind, you will do better. Okay? So our brains will do better with a warning, not with a surprise. So if you're working on something and all of a sudden, boom, it's time to go from this thing to the next thing, it's like you surprise yourself. You surprise your nervous system. If you have a physical reminder of the fact that, okay, I have 15 minutes left on this task, and now I have 5 minutes left on this task. Okay, I know I have some time to get this thing done. I can arrive at a stopping point before I move from this thing to the very next thing. Then that will help you transition better. And if you can transition better, then the likelihood that you won't be caught up somewhere in that process is pretty good. You can actually go from doing the laundry to doing the dishes. And you can actually make it from the dishes to picking up the kids from school. And if you pick up the kids from school and you've done all the tasks that you set out to do that day, now you're in a really good mood. So now you're picking up the kids from school and you're in a great mood. You're ahead on time. You're like, okay, we'll stop by McDonald's. Let's get some McDonald's. And now the kids are happy because they get McDonald's, and they're happy because mom and dad are in a good mood. And you go back to the house and everybody's in a great mood. And now the thing that you work on at night, you do it with excellence because you're in a great mood, because you're able to transition from one thing to the next, and from that thing to the next thing, all because you gave yourself a warning. And the best way to do this warning thing is to use alarms. You're thinking ahead. You're thinking ahead. You could teach this right now. I was just about to say that. Use alarms. Use alarms. Using alarms. Yep. I do this. I have multiple alarms. I have multiple alarms that go off throughout the day. And when I start something, I'll have an alarm that will go off after 15 minutes, after 30 minutes, after 45 minutes, after an hour. Because sometimes I'll have like a 15-minute time block where I do nothing. I'll literally go off into la la land. My brain will disappear for 15 minutes. And then the alarm brings me right back to reality. I'm like, oh, snap. Damn, I was in the middle of, oh, shoot. Damn, okay, cool. Without the alarm, do you know how long I could be in La La Land? I could be in La La Land for hours. And this is why time blindness is a thing for us. So much time escapes us because we're not tracking the time. Let's see. On StreamYard. Leilani, I have no idea, actually. I don't know. John, if you could watch my live stream and see what Leilani is saying. But it looks like you cannot add somebody as a moderator on. Okay, well, we'll figure it out after the chat. We'll figure it out. I mean, after the live stream. We will figure it out. I'm an AuDHD trans woman. So I perked up right when I saw transition. They're hard for us. They are really hard for us. They are hard for us. And Leilani, yeah, we'll figure it out after the stream. I just don't know. I love those times where my brain just goes, I live there. And I do think that we need meditation. When you meditate, you give yourself permission to do nothing. And this is where your brain can go to all of the different places. And if you meditate for longer than 30 minutes, you will learn a lot about yourself. You will have the craziest intrusive thoughts. You'll have things that you can't say out loud. You'll have things that make you laugh. You'll have things that make you question yourself. Don't judge any of the thoughts that you have when you meditate. Just allow your brain to go wherever it wants to go without judgment. If you do this every single day, you will be mentally healthier. You'll be much healthier. I'm so glad I'm not the only one with a million alarms set for the most basic tasks and reminders. We need this. You need alarms set. You need alarms set if you want to be mindful of the time that is escaping you. Time will go by and you won't get a single thing done, but the alarms help to bring you back to the present moment. Alarms are so important for everybody, but for people who work from home, if you work from home without alarms, I don't know what to tell you. Work from home is a trap, by the way. If you have ADHD, work from home is a trap. I think I posted it on Facebook about a week or two ago. Work from home with ADHD is a trap. Get out of the house. Go to the library. Get out of the house. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Everything at home. You have to get out of the house. Go to a coffee shop. Go to a coffee shop. Looks like Leilani has some type of special designation. You may be moderator already. Because you got this little... Oh, it worked. Okay. Yeah. John, you did it. Leilani has a wrench, like something on her name, which shows that she's a moderator. So thank you, John. It worked. Look at that. Awesome. I have to delete alarms weekly because I have an alarm for a lot of stuff. Alarms are so helpful. Let me see how many alarms I have. And this is just on one phone. Let me show you all my alarms. Let me show you all my alarms right here. So it's about 5, 10, 15, 25, 30. About 30 alarms I got. 30 alarms. I live this. 30 alarms. Alarms. I think I just made up a word there. I just made up a word there. Electronic post-it notes. Okay, I like that. And Sarita on TikTok says, work from home was how I discovered I have ADHD. I told you, work from home is a trap if you have ADHD. It's a trap. It's a setup. It is a setup. It's a setup. Get your butt to the library. Get to the library. Get to the library. The ADHD paralysis. Alarms, once again, will help to break it. Alarms will help to break it. And your inner voice has to be very encouraging. Okay, so your inner voice, you want to develop an inner voice that's encouraging and uplifting. So think about the most sultry voice you can think of. Maybe it's your favorite actor or actress. Maybe it's Siri. Maybe you like the way Siri sounds. Siri, I don't need you right now. But think of the most sultry voice that you can imagine, and talk to yourself imagining that voice. And that voice is telling you to get up, to get things done. And I'll tell you this about ADHD paralysis. When you do one task, you start to fill up your momentum meter. Just doing one thing will help you fill up the momentum meter. So go for the thing that's the easiest to do. No shame. There should be no shame in going for easy tasks. We want to go for the low-hanging fruit. If it's taking the trash out, if that's too hard, It could be something as simple as putting the cap back on the water bottle. I don't know why that would be a task, but something that's super, super simple. Catherine says, cleaning my room and I'm struggling. Cleaning your room is an A-level difficult task. Cleaning your room is not an easy task. think about when you were a kid and your parents made you clean your room and you were crying and you threw a tantrum. That same emotion that you felt as a kid is probably what you feel now when you have to clean your room. I got a pile of clothes that I should have done the laundry about a week ago. I just haven't started it. Cleaning your room, laundry, dishes, these are very difficult tasks. I don't care what nobody says. Those are hard tasks. Remembering to get the trash out on trash day, these are very difficult things. Very difficult things. And we can AI most things, but you can't AI. There's no AI robot to clean your room. And whenever they invent those, I'll be very happy. I'll be getting me an AI robot. People are getting AI robots for companionship and things like that. No, give me a robot who can clean my room. Let let me get some assistance cleaning my room. That's what I want. Give me an AI robot who can do the dishes. That's what I want. I don't need an AI robot to, run her hands through my hair. And I just clean the dishes. Clean for me. Clean for me, and you can stick around as long as you want. Just don't do nothing crazy. These robots can malfunction, but just don't do anything crazy. Paige, speaking of careers that are neurodivergent friendly, anything that allows you to manage your time is neurodivergent friendly. For some of us, it's just impossible to get to work at 7 a.m. I'm sorry. If the job requires you to get there at 7 a.m., it may not be the job for us. If there's no flexibility, one day you want to come in at 8 o'clock, 8:30. If there's no flexibility, it might not be the job for you. Might not be the job for you. Chandler says, I used to have to be at work at 4 a.m. Now, Chandler on TikTok, why do I feel like it's easier to get to work at 4 a.m. than it is to get at 7 a.m.? Not that it's easy to get to work at 4. It's still pretty damn hard. You got to sleep at 6 p.m. But I feel like getting to work at 4 is easier than 7 a.m. Like getting to work at 7 is just so hard. Right, there's less people out at 4 a.m. At 7 a.m., you got to get through all this traffic. Thank you. All right, thank you. Thank you for backing me up. All right, cool. I thought I was crazy. Getting to work at 4, I can get to work at 4 a.m. Getting to work at 7 a.m., I'm not sure if I can do that. I don't think I've ever had the ability to get to work at 7 a.m. I almost got fired from the psych hospital working as a nurse there when I had to get to work at 7 o'clock in the morning for day shift. I almost got fired. But then when they moved me to evening shift, I did so much better. I ended up becoming a charge nurse on evening shift because now we get to work at 3 o'clock. Now, was I on time? No, but I was like less late. I was never on time. I was just less late. Instead of showing up an hour late, I was like 8-9 minutes late, which to me is really good. Like 8 minutes late for me is that's good. That's progress. That's good. Like I was proud of that internally. I would still, go to the nurse manager's office and she's like, Kojo, or she said, they used to call me Safro. You gotta get to work on time. I'm like, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. But I was proud of myself because I was just a little less late. 8 minutes late. When you're neurospicy, you have if you have ADHD, you are required to give everybody a 10-minute grace period. A 10-minute grace period. Okay? This is for your employees. This is for your coworkers. This is for somebody on a first date. A 10-minute grace period, okay? Because we will need that same 10-minute grace period. Now, if you're on a first date with somebody and they show up 45 minutes late, all right, okay, all right, all right, you're not taking this seriously. You better buy the first 3 rounds of drinks or something because you showed up 45 minutes late. You don't care about this. But 10 minutes late or 11. And Sarita says, how do you learn to be this kind to yourself? Look, you are your own worst enemy. And I don't think that there's anybody out there who's ever been meaner to you than yourself. So you have to be your own like best friend, your own cheerleader. The way I talk to myself, I don't even tell people how I talk to myself because I treat myself like I'm the best thing in the world. I'm always talking to myself using my limbic voice, which is how you talk to autistic kids. You're doing a good job. I'm proud of you. Like, that's how I talk to myself. I'm always encouraging myself. Oh, you're an hour late. You're still doing a good job. Just get to work. Just get to work on time next time. I am my own biggest fan. I don't allow any self-deprecation. Now, if outside of stand-up comedy, okay, I don't allow any self-deprecation. So in real life, I'm not talking bad to myself. I'm always hyping myself up. I say, man, Kojo, that was a great note you did. Oh, this is a beautiful paragraph you wrote. This is going to be amazing for the next book. Oh, Kojo, you're so handsome. I don't think I've ever met a woman who is more complimentary of me than I am of myself. Sometimes the girls will say, don't make his head big. Too late. My head's already big. I got a big head. It's too big for my body. Now, when you say it out loud, it becomes arrogance. But when you say it to yourself, it's confidence. That's the difference. You say it out loud. Oh, I'm the handsomest. Oh, okay, nobody cares. Okay, that's arrogance. You say it to yourself. That's confidence. I think that's healthy. I think that's healthy. Because look, you have to be overly positive to drown out the negative voices. Because if you're not overly positive, the negative voices will take over. Negative voices will take over. From Canada, thank you for your support. Thank you for your support. And my husband is a police officer. He prefers night shift when his shift starts at 6 p.m. over the day shift when it starts at 6 a.m. Paige, look. When I saw you smiling in your profile photo, I'm like, all right, if she's happy, if she's in a happy relationship and she's neurodivergent, then her husband has got to be neurospicy as well. Because look, neurodivergence is a language. So when I see somebody who likes working night shift, yeah. Tell your husband to come on up. He needs a neurodivergent jersey. Now, I don't know if he's diagnosed or not, but this is why I used to love night shift. I used to love night shift at the psych hospital, evening shift and night shift. I used to love it. I used to love it because it was just less. The day shift is too much. I like people. I actually like people, but sometimes it's just like people are just it's too much. Like I like people when it's on my time. But what is this? I'm like, is this too much? You know, I could just imagine as a cop. Think about now. I'm not somebody who calls the cops for. Well, not really. But think about all the calls you get in the daytime as a cop. Oh, my tire busted. You got all these cops calls. You're like, at nighttime, if you get a call, it's a real emergency. Somebody calls the police at 1:47 a.m. No, that's a real emergency. That somebody to call the cops in the middle of the night. Oh no. Yeah, there are no fake phone calls to the cops at 1 o'clock. That's a real deal emergency. A real deal emergency. And Sheila. Hey, this is funny right here. I feel like doing this every day of my life. Like even before the thing, I'm like, hey, just to let you know, I'm gonna be late. I'm running late. Call up your friends. Hey, I'm running late. There's no event today. I'm just letting you know the next time we have an event, I'm running a little bit late. Whenever I show up somewhere on time, I surprise myself. I'm like, damn, like, this is what it feels like to be early. Like, have you ever seen what early looks like? It's so weird. You're sitting there and People haven't showed up to the event or the function, or they haven't showed up to work yet, and you're there early before other cars are there. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is what early feels like. I'm afraid to be arrogant. So don't be afraid to be arrogant when you're hyping yourself up. You have to be wickedly arrogant when you're hyping yourself up. And here's the thing with confidence. When you are confident in yourself, then all of a sudden people feel like they have permission to be confident in you. You have to be your own biggest fan. And there's a thin line between confidence and arrogance. You don't have to say it out loud, okay? You don't have to say it out loud or tell people what you are. It has nothing to do with other people. Respectfully, leave people over there. This has to do with you internally, how you feel about yourself. The B236. I don't have your actual name, so the B236. How you feel about yourself. You have to hype yourself up. I mean, the things I tell myself, like I tell myself things that, like, if I even mention it to y'all, you'd be like, man, he's full of himself. But I'll be in the shower singing, listen to NBA YoungBoy, feeling like I'm the greatest to ever live. Or sometimes I could be talking to my old lady, and I'm like, hey, I'm one of the greatest to ever live. Every now and then an arrogant statement will slip out. But I would rather you be full of yourself than to be insecure. It's easier to bring somebody down than it is to bring somebody up. Because if you're full of yourself, you have self-belief. You just have too much, right? But if you're insecure and you don't believe in yourself, if you don't like yourself, I have to plant the seed of belief for you to actually like you, okay? And if that seed of belief is not there, then it's just not there. How do I get somebody who doesn't like themselves to like themselves? It's very difficult. It is very difficult. And the way you do this is not by telling them how great they are. It's by backing off and giving them permission to be kinder to themselves. I can't just tell you, hey, the B, you're the best of all time. If you don't believe that, you don't believe that. There's nothing I can do for you. What I can do for you is I can give you permission to be yourself. I can give you permission to make mistakes. And self-compassion, guys, is you need self-compassion. Because sometimes you think about the mistakes that you made, and you're like, damn, like how did I get tripped up? I know better. I'm a grown adult. I know better. How am I in this situation? Self-compassion, guys. Self-compassion. You have to be nice to yourself. You did the best that you could with the information you had. And it's a lot of people who don't like, a lot of us as neurodivergents, we don't like ourselves. Shame. Shame is a Mickey Ficky. Shame. And look, I believe that if you're neurospicy, self-compassion is not natural for you. I don't think it's natural for any of us. But look, we have to find ways to like ourselves. I do like my actions, but I'm not sure why I let the negative thoughts win. Because the negative thoughts are what we want to believe. At our default, that's what we gravitate towards. This is why you have to actively work to like yourself. So you can struggle with transitions, and you can struggle with time blindness, and you can struggle with not getting things done. But you have to have the delusional belief. Sometimes it's delusion. Hey, tomorrow I'm gonna get my stuff done tomorrow. I don't care what it is. I'm gonna get it done tomorrow. And bookworm, I would rather you mask your way into confidence, and before you know it, you're gonna be more confident. Like if you pretend, like, assignment for everybody. And Lilani, I agree with this right here. Assignment for everybody tomorrow. I want you to be as confident as possible tomorrow. Be ridiculously confident with whatever you do. Be super confident and super bold. So if you're talking to somebody and you mess your words up, or you mess up during your presentation, laugh it off, because that's not a reflection of who you are. Be extremely confident with whatever you do tomorrow and see how you feel. I didn't say arrogant. I didn't say condescending. When we're getting into condescending and arrogance, that's you putting people down to lift yourself up. It ain't got to do with other people. It has to do with yourself. Be as ridiculously confident as you can be tomorrow, and just see how you feel. Just see how you feel. I wanted to see what Paige said about her husband. See? Guys, you see? I don't have to see somebody in the office for an hour to know if they're neurodivergent. We don't have to do a full psychiatric assessment to see if somebody is neurodivergent. I know when I see it because I'm one of them. 100%. And for the most part, our quirks complement the others. No, that makes sense to me. I'm trying to think. Maybe every woman I've dated is either ADHD or autistic, straight up. And I wasn't trying to do this on purpose, but it's the language we speak. Our quirks complement the others, if that makes sense. And to add to what he said about the cops on night shift, he would definitely agree that another reason he loves night shift, because it's not boring like the day shift. He prefers foot chases over parking lot incidents. Right. A foot chase, think about the adrenaline rush. This sounds very ADHD. The adrenaline rush you get from a foot chase. And growing up as a kid, when I was in Norway especially, I wanted to be a police officer. So that was actually what I wanted to be as a kid. I was obsessed with cop cars. So I would see cop cars and like I would like watch them and I would like compare the differences between the cars and like how the lights would go off. Maybe it was a sensory thing. You know, I know I'm weird, but I was obsessed with cop cars as a kid and I wanted to be a police officer. And think about the rush that you get. I think that's every little boy's dream. Like you want to be the hero. You want to be the guy. I can't speak for your husband, but for me, I want to be the hero. I want to be the guy in a small town who catches the bad guy. And then they put you in the local news. Deputy Ledlow caught the guy who robbed 3 banks and hurt 4 people. And then, you know, they give you like the keys to the city. You're the hero. And another thing that we as guys do is we have this weird fantasy. I know I'm not the only one who has this fantasy where we want to be the person to take down the school shooter. Kind of morbid. I know this is very left field, but we want to be the person who saves the day. Like we think, or maybe that's me. Okay, I can't speak for all guys, but I'll have this fantasy where I'm pressed into a situation, and you know, either it could be like a school shooter or somebody who's trying to rob an old lady, and I'm the person who runs and I tackle the bad guy, and then like I pin the guy down till the cops come, and then the news comes and they ask me my name, and I'm like, I was just shopping at Ralph's and I saw this older woman in distress, and I don't know what happened. I just like something took over, and I just had to do what I need to do as a law-abiding citizen. We love that fantasy of being a hero. I know I'm not the only one. I can't be the only one. The keys to see facts. Ain't no I'm the only one who has that fantasy. I want to save the day, but I'm content to just save my own day. Oh, now saving my own day is pretty damn hard, right? We can do other people's problems easier than our own. Well, that's accurate, Paige. Facts. Mark. Thank you, Mark. Hey. You think of random scenarios, and then the ABC 7 comes, and then they bring like their whole crew, and then they're like, we're here with Mark Thacker, 24-year-old man in Shreveport, Louisiana, who just happened to be on the scene, and he saved 3 lives. And you're sitting there, and you're just trying to play it off like you're like, nah, this is just what I do. Dr. Lindsay, how are you? If I was a military wife and when they would leave, I would think I was FBI mode. I do it several times a day. Right, because like we want to be, like a hero. You want to be the hero. Like I'm a fully grown adult, and I still have this fantasy. I don't want to be in a situation where like I have to tackle somebody or like I don't want to do that. but I think about what would happen if I were the hero, and I think about it about 2-3 times a week. Honestly, Sierra, we're live on YouTube. We're live on YouTube. What a bookworm! I have always resonated with characters with redemption arcs, like it's a journey, but they're hero at the end. Right? It makes for a good story. Lindsay, thank you for the galaxy thingy on TikTok. Thank you, thank you. And Indigo Butterfly says, I'm going to take over the world and fill it with love. And I'm not joking. Oh, I like that. I like that. We need that. And Bree, like that, she says, do similar thing happen to me? Blind man crossing the street. Oh, so you stepped in to help the blind man? The scenarios that we have in our head. We have some of the most interesting imaginations. I do think that I'm a hero in some sense, working in mental health and promoting mental health awareness. Yeah, so I do believe that, but I don't like to think about what I'm doing as I'm doing it, because my story's not over yet. I'm still working. In these instances, I'm fully convinced I would say. And look, you probably would, because you're prepared for the moment. Mark, look, even in your profile photo, like, you're ready for it. You're ready for it. You got it. McNeil on TikTok, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. This community, y'all are the heroes, honestly. Because without the attention of y'all, like, how can I do what I do? And especially my people on TikTok, because that's where I first started off at. And TikTok gave me the permission to be myself. And now my YouTube, now we have a YouTube plaque and we have a lot of subscribers. But I tried YouTube back in the day, and it wouldn't work for me. And then I would start recording up. I'm like, hey guys, welcome to my channel. Like, it just wouldn't work, And then TikTok allowed me to be myself. So shout out to my community. Of course, the algorithm, but shout out to my community. Y'all are the real heroes. I've acted out movies. In your mind. So I'll do this thing where, and guys, I kid you not, my brothers will verify that this is true. I'll do this thing where I'll set up my camera, my cell phone, and I'll record myself, and I'll play maybe NBA Youngboy, or like, let me see, Drake. Who I listen to on a Saturday night? Youngboy, Drake, sometimes old school Kanye and T.I. But I'll play like Kojo's greatest hits on Saturday night for like an hour and a half, and I will record myself rapping every single word, and I'll go back and watch. I'll go back and watch my own concert, and I'm rapping every single word, and like, I'm so deep into the role play that I'll have like random breaks where like I'm doing like this, I'm sweating, and I'm addressing the crowd. Like, it's a whole world I've created for myself. And like, I'll have my dog too. I'll be jumping on the couch. You know how you jump into the crowd and then people catch you? Like, it's a whole thing that I've created for myself. A whole thing. A whole thing. Sierra, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. No, y'all are the best. Be True, BU96. I like that dress you have on, by the way. Y'all are the best. Guys, I like it here. I like the story where characters go through self-improvement. Oh, I rap. I rap. I do everything. I do everything. Lovia, thank you so much. Social media is, I'm kind of split on it, because I know what it's doing to us as a society. I know that the phones are the devil, and the doom scrolling is not healthy for us. But at the same time, social media has changed my life. So I'm like, it's a necessary evil. So I'm kind of split. What was the dog do? Oh, so the dog will hype me up. The dog will hype me up. So like I'll make the dog bark, and like the dog is a big part of the concert. And was it DMX who would bring dogs out to the concert? Was it DMX or somebody would bring dogs out when they're performing? So my dog is a big part of the concert. She's there. She's barking. We're having a great time. Oh, Waterboy. I love that movie. Waterboy. My imagination is wild. It's crazy wild. I'll talk to people while I'm acting out the movie. Oh, it was DMX. I knew it. It was DMX. Did Paris Hilton bring out dogs out while performing? McNeil says, let's make this in-person events. Oh, McNeil, those are my comedy shows. All the comedy show tickets come with meet and greets. So all the comedy show tickets come with meet and greets. So if you, well, I should think so. I'll double check again. But the link is in the bio. And when you come out to the comedy show, it's one big neurodivergent hangout. So Houston in April, then Nashville in May. And we'll look to add more cities. And then also to prepare for the tour, I do monthly shows in California. So we do monthly shows at home. The next comedy show is February 7th at one of my home clubs, which is the Comedy Chateau in North Hollywood. And I will be like, I popped up in Vancouver, Canada one weekend just to work some material out. And that was a great show. So I just went to Vancouver, Canada randomly. And I did a show there. And I put it on Facebook. Hey, I'm going to be at the Underground Comedy Club in Vancouver. I gave people like a 2-hour heads up. I should have done better. So I could just pop up at a show randomly to work out some material. But what we will have is the monthly shows in California. Then we will have some shows, the show in Houston, then Nashville the next month. Rubbing Weensies. I read that like there was something else. I actually have a friend of mine who's a comic in Seattle. And I'm looking to do some shows in Seattle, actually. I have not done one yet, but I'd like to do a couple in Seattle. South Carolina, I tried to get a show in South Carolina a year or two ago. I tried to get one in, close to Aiken. I wasn't able to do that, but South Carolina is still on my list. These two cities are still on my list. And everybody in California thinks about moving to Austin at least 50 times a year. I love your content. I'm AuDHD. Kellogg, I appreciate you. Oh, for the comedy, Houston, April 26th, and Nashville, May 31st. Coco, I saw that there was a comic who did a show in Ellensburg. I'd love to do one. I forget where it was at or what the name was, but I saw it at one of the places. I forgot, but you can actually do shows in Ellensburg. Vancouver. I would love to. I may go back to Vancouver and work some more material out because the crowd in Vancouver love me. And Canadians are just so nice. I love Canadians. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Nashville. I'm really looking forward. I grew up in Tennessee. I grew up in Nashville. I grew up in the projects in Nashville. The Titans. You see, the Titans are my favorite football team. They follow me on Instagram, by the way. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm not overlooking Houston. I'm not overlooking it, but Nashville show is going to be a very special one for me. April 26th. Oh, come on out. Next show is February 7th at the Comedy Chateau. I don't have that link in the bio yet, but I need to do that. I'll drop it in there. Oh, if you're in California, come on out, DB. Come on out. And I've had a lot of people DM me about Bipolar 2 a lot. And I think I posted a video that same day that I got a DM. But just know that this is the most difficult mental health condition to catch, and it's very similar to ADHD and or autism. The difference is that you'll have the hypomania, so which is also really hard to catch because it just feels like you feeling good. You know, that's the weird thing about bipolar, because you know how is feeling good an issue? You know, because you start to feel a little bit better and you start to feel more confident. We were just talking about confidence earlier. Starting to feel more confident, then you start to feel more sexy, then you start to feel so amazing, you start to feel so good, then you start to, you know, put yourself out there, and now you're in a couple of relationships, and then you're like, oh no, I'm manic. No, I'm manic. You know, that's the difficult thing about bipolar. That feeling good could be a red flag. What other condition is feeling good a red flag? But it is a condition that I'd say is fairly easy to treat, at least for me. I used to live in Houston. Oh, okay, yeah. So the Titans were the Houston Oilers. Okay, yeah. See, I like you already. The Titans, Houston Oilers. Oh, you're wearing Titans gear now. I will see you in May. I can't wait. Let's get that show sold out. I will see you then. I'm excited for it. And also, one thing that I'm excited for is I'm excited for the comics that will be out at these shows. You know, I'm planning to bring my friends from California. I got some very funny people, and you know, we're coming from California, so we're a little arrogant. You know, we're a little conceited. You know, we have some body dysmorphia. We're always in the gym, but we got some body dysmorphia, and you know, we have some mental issues. But I got some very funny people coming from California that I'm working on bringing to Tennessee. And I've been telling my people about Tennessee, and my one of my barbers who will be coming, and he'll be working the cameras. I keep telling him that because he's from Los Angeles. I said, hey, if you think the women in California are amazing, you have to go to Tennessee. He came with me to my show in Chicago, and that show was amazing. Before we went to Chicago, we went to Alabama. I had a talk at my old university, and he almost married every single woman he saw in Alabama because the Southern accent was making him melt. The Southern accent, like he didn't want to go back to California. The Southern accent was about to make him melt. So when he comes to Nashville, I know he's going to want to go to Waffle House, and he's probably going to marry the cook at Waffle House after he hears that Southern accent. Oh, it got you too? It's the best accent now. It's the best accent. Which women? Southern women? Women from the South? They're so accommodating. When I first moved to California, I'd be talking to people and I'd say, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. And they're like, no, I'm not old. Don't say yes, sir. Don't say yes, ma'am. I'm like, this is just how I was trained to talk. Excuse me for being raised with manners. I thought you were supposed to say yes, ma'am, and yes, sir. People are like, no, don't say that. But growing up, we get in trouble if we didn't say yes, ma'am, and yes, sir. You know, we have manners in the South. I'm from Nashville. I grew up in Nashville and Ackworth, Georgia. And we also spent a year in Jacksonville, Florida as well. But I went to Taylor Stratton Elementary. I also went to Kings Lane Elementary. What middle school did I go to? I think I went to Head Middle School for a year or so. But I definitely went to Taylor Stratton Elementary. I think it's called Stratton Elementary now. I went to Stratton Elementary for 2 years. Then we went to Kings. I did 4th grade at Kings Lane Elementary School. So yeah. Both my younger brothers were born in Nashville. They were born at Meharry Hospital. So Nashville is home. I did fifth grade in Jacksonville at Greenland Pines Elementary School, and I remember that I didn't win the spelling bee, but I got second place. And I remember I won accelerated reader. I was a top reader of fifth grade, and I got a signed Tiger Woods like poster, which I gave to my sister, and because my oldest sister had a huge crush on Tiger Woods, and I was like, chill, he doesn't even like black women, and my family was weak. My oldest sister had a big crush on Tiger Woods. I gave her the poster. I also got a signed poster of Mark Brunell, who was the quarterback for the Jaguars at that time. So yeah, Jacksonville Jaguars. Gabrielle, nice to meet you. Nashville, Tennessee. This lady thought I was rude because I said miss instead of ma'am. Now I will say this about in the South. Sometimes, there's too much of an emphasis on manners, and when people either misspeak or they say the wrong thing, they get in trouble. And Amanda says, unless you're an autistic woman from the South. What you mean, unless you're an autistic woman from the South? Nah. Autistic women from the South are still appreciated. They're still appreciated. Tennessee, Knoxville and Nashville are pretty far apart. Yeah. They're pretty far apart. Even Nashville and Murfreesboro are, it's a 40-minute drive. The word I stumbled upon was strawberry. Oh, your agent. That's kind of funny. I forgot the A in strawberry. I said STRW, and then I saw my dad's head because my dad was at the back filming me on. Remember those camcorders back in the day? My dad had this camcorder and he was recording the spelling bee, and I was spelling strawberry. I go STRW. I see my dad's head drop in the back of the room. I said, damn, I messed up. I disappointed my dad, but they were proud of me. I got second place. Whatever. Amanda says, I don't follow the rules. Well, I get, yeah, that's an autism thing. And actually, speaking of being in the South, if you're going to be an autistic woman, which I know you didn't choose to be autistic, you're born that way, it's better to be in places like California, because in California or on the West Coast, you can do what you want. You can kind of make up your own rules, but the one thing I will say about the South is it's kind of cookie cutter. It's kind of cookie cutter. You're supposed to kind of, follow the rules. Even, a woman who is not married in her 30s in the South, she's finished. In California, if you're a single 34-year-old woman who isn't married, you're just an aspiring writer. In the South, they say you're finished. So, in New York City too, you can have ambition there, but in the South, once you hit 27, it's like, hey, you get a job and stop dreaming. So the South does have a couple of things that aren't the best, Yep, there you go. You fit better when you were in Seattle. That makes perfect sense to me. So the South is just what I know, but it's not without its own problems. Nat, I appreciate you. You got third. Spelling bee. The anxiety of the spelling bees is so much. Mickey Ficky. Yes, Eric, I saw this question. I want to touch a little bit on it. 6-year-old has autism, ADHD, starting mid-year enrollment tomorrow. Whatever he can do on his own, allow him to do it on his own and praise him for that. Because for all of us, neurodivergence, autonomy is a need for us. So we don't want to feel like we're a basket case. We want to feel like we're capable of doing things. So when he can do something on his own and he doesn't struggle with it, make it a big deal. Make it a bigger deal than normal to help him feel like he has autonomy over himself. Yep. Single mama in Florida. Okay, shout out. Shout out. They'll listen to, yeah. If you're a woman in the South and you have ambitions, you might have to leave. Okay, you may have to go to a Seattle. You may have to go to a Las Vegas, a Los Angeles, a New York City. In the South, by the time you're 25 and you're not married, they say bless your heart, and that's not a blessing. Okay. I either mask in public, which is a lot easier when you have ADHD, or tell people like, "Hey, look, sorry, that was weird. I'm autistic." Which, look, if let's say you do something weird in public and you actually did say, "Hey, look, sorry, that was weird. I'm autistic." If there are other autistic people in the area, you just made a friend. Because how many times will we drop the mask in public? We don't drop the mask. We really keep that mask on us. Yes, I did take meds for ADHD. I still take meds for ADHD. Now, I wasn't even sure if I was supposed to be sharing that or whatever, but like, I give you all the real. And I know that TikTok had kind of dinged me for talking about medications. I used to talk a lot about meds and not prescribing to people, but if somebody had a question about Wellbutrin or Abilify, I would tell people my thoughts on those meds. But then TikTok was like, don't do that. But I mean, at least for myself, like I do share. I think I started off on Ritalin and then Concerta, and then eventually we settled on Adderall, which is what I still take. This is what I still take. Do you think a diagnosis is worth it? It's up to you. It really is up to you. If a diagnosis would help you either feel better or help you understand yourself more, I'd say go for it. But I know a lot of people who, I'll do a autism screening, which is different from an assessment, and I'll tell them that I'm pretty sure that they're autistic, or the ADHD will diagnose that. But I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure you have autism, and they're good with just that. They're like, all right, I don't have to pay $1,000 for an assessment. I'm okay knowing that I could be autistic. So it's a personal decision. Let me take a look at TikTok real quick. Coco. It's something that we would have discussed if you had brought it up. Buddy says, my family each morning, did you take your meds? Dang. Gabby, ADHD has to show up in boys. So it can show up as a boy who is disruptive, but also just know that the same way women can present with the inattentive ADHD, boys can also present with that. Katie says, Southern Belle, and I am told I am rude all the time. Katie, that's it. You got to move to California. You got to move to California, Katie. You got to move. You got to move. When I was 26. When I was 26 years old. Or 26, 27? Let me see. You see, you can tell I'm getting older because I got to do the math. I'm like, okay, I was born in 92. 26 would make it 2092, 2018. Yeah, 26. Look at me being old. Yeah, I started meds when I was 26. I got diagnosed when I was 26. It's a good it's a, how do I describe Wellbutrin? It's kind of like a Swiss Army knife. It does multiple things. Everything from helping people who want to, quit cigarettes, to helping people who have seasonal depression, to helping people who have the regular flavor of depression, to helping people who have ADHD who want stimulants. It's a pretty versatile medication. And TikTok, please don't shadow ban my live stream. I won't talk a lot about meds. TikTok, help me out now. The TikTok powers that be. And I've seen people talk about medications on TikTok before. I mean, they had smaller pages. I guess I can't do that. That's fine. That's cool. That's cool. Oh yeah, the regular flavor of depression. This is a really good question right here. Do I see this as a strength? I feel like a special interest, it doesn't have to be a strength or a weakness. It can just be your special interest. So I look at special interest as something that you legitimately enjoy. So if you enjoy it, then like you enjoy it. Don't stop that special interest. Like that's your thing. I will say that depending on what your special interest is, if it's in something that can make you a lot of money or something that gives you a lot of social status, then I guess people call those strengths. But as long as you can compartmentalize, I don't think it would hold you back for real, for real. I don't think it would hold you back. I'm homeless, 50 homeless, and 2 weeks self-diagnosed. Where can I find help? Mr. Terrence, what I would say is, first and foremost, I'm sorry about your situation. In terms of mental health help, there are certain clinics, depending on where you're at, that either have free clinics or indigent, I can't even say the word, indigent care. Can't say that word. It's a hard word for me. But there are different clinics that could provide mental health help for little to no cost. It does depend on where you're at. And hopefully those programs are combined with other programs that can help with housing. So I'm hoping that information can be helpful. The thumbnail for this live, where's the thumbnail? Gabby says, what do you think about antidepressant medication with ADHD meds? Oh, some people need that. That's a very common thing, quite popular. A lot of people will take, their, Vyvanse or whatever, and then they'll also take Lexapro, Prozac, or even sometimes Wellbutrin as well. Oh, goddamn. Look at me. I cut myself. That is crazy. That's the most ADHD thing ever. I'll just look at my hand and I'll be bleeding. I'm like, okay, I cut myself. Okay. I won't show it on live stream because I don't want to get banned like last time, but it's my little cut. Nothing too crazy. Cool. Duval Social Services. Okay, so that's Jacksonville, Florida. Okay. I've never worked professionally in Florida, so I don't know too much about that. But I would say look into any low cost or free services that they have in your area, if they have any. And Leilani, what is the thumbnail? Because I can't see it. Yeah, random bruises. I don't know what's going on. All right, let me get to the super chat right here. I've had 2 TBIs. Okay, sorry to hear that. I find ADHD and autism traits in myself. Is that normal? Actually, I'm happy that you're asking this question. This is a good question right here. It's a really, really good question. Mystery bruise, Mickey Ficky. This is a great question. So here's the thing with a TBI. A TBI is a wild card, meaning that you don't know what you're going to get. And this is one of the biggest reasons why I tell people, you see somebody that is schizophrenic, somebody that has bipolar disorder, somebody that's autistic, somebody with a mental health condition, don't ever laugh at them and don't ever think that you're better than that person, because you could bump your head, you could hit your head and be at the psychiatric hospital. You could hit your head and you could hear voices. You could hit your head and have episodes that look like manic episodes. You could hit your head and you can have inattentive traits that look like ADHD. You can hit your head and you could have rigid thinking patterns like we see in autism. So with a TBI, there is no telling what you're going to get. There is no telling what you're going to get. You could hit your head. So, and I'm not going to speak this into existence because I believe that you could speak, things into existence. So I'm not going to speak this into anybody's life. And for you with the two TBIs, definitely sorry that happened. But I just hope that we all, we wear our helmets when we ride bikes. Be careful with those electronic scooters. I used to ride them a lot, and I knew how dangerous they were. So I'm happy I stopped. And I had three electric bikes. They were stolen. Somebody broke into my garage in LA and stole all three. But after I was pissed about it for a little bit, I ended up looking at it as a blessing, because those bikes, what I would do is I would take the bikes out, and I think the girl I was dating at that time, she kept telling me, Kojo, stop being so risky. But I would take those bikes out, and I wouldn't do wheelies on them, but I'd ride them standing up because they were electric bikes. I'd be riding my bike standing up and down Ventura Boulevard, which is a pretty busy street. And I guess that's kind of like an extreme sport. And sometimes I wasn't wearing a helmet. And I know better than this. I know better than to be riding a bike without a helmet, especially an electric bike, going down the hill doing 25, 30 miles per hour. Not the best course of action for myself. So when my bikes were stolen, I said, maybe this is God talking to me, telling me that I'm being too risky with, what I'm doing, and that he's trying to protect me. So with TBIs, or with hitting your head in general, you can absolutely have ADHD and autism traits. So I don't know if that's normal, but I would say that that's in line with what I've seen with many people who've had traumatic brain injuries in the past. So protecting our heads, very important. You want to protect your head, okay? You want to protect your head. So don't judge yourself, and understand that this is something that can happen from having a TBI. And to add to that, let's say I have a patient who has had a TBI and they're having symptoms that look like ADHD, and the topic comes up and they want to try ADHD medication. I would try it. Let's give it a shot. I've done it before and it's been helpful. So sometimes, your site can do something off-label, which just means that you use a medication that's not normally used for a certain thing to treat a certain thing. So it's an art as much as it is a science. I told my assistant, I told him, I said, John, I started tonight's live stream late. We're only going to do 40 minutes. And now it's been an hour and 40 minutes. See, guys, this is exactly what I was talking about. Do y'all see what's going on here? The title of this live stream is 3 reasons why transitions are so hard. And this live stream is a good example of what I'm talking about. It took me forever to start the dang stream. And now it's taking me forever to end the stream. I still have to hit the gym tonight. And I'm still going to hit the gym tonight. It'll be a little 25-minute workout, something, nothing too crazy. I'm going to still go to the gym. I'm not going to break the promises I made to myself. But when I get on the live stream, it'd be so hard to get off. It's so hard to get off because I'm in a flow state, and I don't like being interrupted when I'm in the flow state. It takes forever to start and forever to leave. Guys, I told my sister, I said, I'm doing 40. I said, I'm doing 40 minutes tonight, and I'm going to the gym. I said, I'm doing 40 minutes tonight, and I'm going to the gym. at 7:24 p.m. But right before I said, can you ask the Chateau what time on the 7th is the show, please, for the comedy show? Sure, we'll ask them via email. Then I said, I'm going live now. We'll keep it to 40 minutes and then head to the gym, reply to the things you edited, etc. That was almost 2 hours ago. Oh, my assistant knows me. He knows that I just be talking. And I had the desire to do a 40-minute stream, but you know how it is. You know how it is. So when this is your life, right? When you have a brain like mine, if you can construct a life where you're not penalized as much for going over an hour, that's what you want. So I'm not going to beat myself up for going over an hour. Like, I'm enjoying every minute of this. And next time I'll just know, okay, I'll say, all right, cool. Next time we're doing an hour. All right, we'll do an hour. But I'm not going to penalize myself for hey, it is what it is. I'll just do better next time. But I'm in a flow state. Someone says, do some push-ups, a wall sit. Right. I should have set an alarm. I'm not taking my own advice. I should have set an alarm. Or Leilani's been here the whole time. Ask the moderator, hey, can you give me give me a heads up on this? Like, I'm at 55 minutes or something like that. So probably I should have done that. Oh, yeah. Hey, this is me. This is me right here. Yo, this is me. Oh man. Some experiences are just not unique and very universal. I hate saying goodbye. Man, I'll be in the parking lot. I remember when I used to work at the psych hospital in Georgia. My good buddy Greg, who's also a nurse there, we would get off of work after working 12 hours, and we'd be in the parking lot talking for sometimes 2 hours. And we're like, all right, man, like, hey, all right, I'm out. I see you. And then we talk about something else. All right, man, I'm out. Oh, bro, ain't it crazy how? Hey, bro, all right. Hey, I gotta go. I gotta go for real. Hey, you know what's wild? Tell me how the Broncos quarterback hurt his knee, and the coach said that he had a pre-existing condition, but then he said, buddy, you're right. Ain't no stopping what we got the groove. The part, man. The parking lot. And no, look, I told myself 40 minutes. I told my sister 40 minutes, and I forgot. But yeah, all right. Next time on the stream, I'll let you know what I'm aiming for. And to be honest, I'm really aiming for an hour per stream, maybe hour and a half. But I'm really aiming for an hour per stream, and because I tell myself, all right, cool, if we do an hour per stream, then we can do more streams. But this is the problem with the neurodivergent brain. And this is just so funny right here. Rubbing. This is the problem. We want to say that we can do something consistently every single day, but we work best in, I do it for 2 hours this day, then I'll come back in 3 days instead of like an hour every day. Because if I did an hour every day, I could go live 6 times a week. And then people could see more of me, but then, to start the damn thing is like, like starting and stopping. Chris Gale on TikTok. I appreciate you, Chris Gale. Right. Chris, you see what I'm talking about? You start talking and it's like, man, I can't stop talking. I can't stop talking. Oh, actually, you know what? Oh my goodness. You know what, guys? You know what? I just realized that I took my Adderall before this live stream. That's why I was so damn thirsty. And that's why I just been yapping my butt off. That's why. I took my Adderall right before this stream. That's why. That makes sense. Oh, Bishop the Artist. Now I locked in. I locked in. Chris, I appreciate you. And y'all asked me when I'm gonna sleep. I meant to take it much earlier today. Yeah, you're right. Extra melatonin is how I'm gonna attempt to sleep. Oh my gosh. Extra melatonin is what I'm gonna do. Mickey Ficky. You're not supposed to take it late. See, Katie, you're right. I'm doomed. And I'm the same person who will tell my patients, I'll say, hey, make sure you don't take this after 3-4 p.m. because it can lead to insomnia. Look at me taking it at 7:24 p.m. Oh, heck no. Oh, heck no. Marcus, what's up? You're right. I know better. Oh, heck no. Oh, heck no. I'm going to be up tonight. Did you need to clean something? Well, I got laundry to do. So I may as well do laundry at night. I may as well clean the house. Since I'm not sleeping until 1 a.m., I may as well clean the house. Have me a little party. For sure, Marcus. It's been a minute. God damn. Oh, Kojo. This is a rookie mistake. I'm too grown for this. Oh my goodness. Priske, I appreciate you. And Minnie, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Oh wow, you haven't taken a day off of streaming in 2 years. Congratulations. That is an autistic superpower. My goodness. This changes the whole dynamic of the night. Julissa, this is exactly why transitions are hard. Yeah. How long have I been taking Adderall for? What? 7 years? I should know better. My God. Haley, I appreciate you. Haley in Portland, I appreciate you. Oh yeah, I'm human. I'm Herman. This is funny. Because like I'll tell myself whenever I have things to do late at night, and also because here's the thing with medications. When I have to do something that doesn't take a lot of focus, I don't normally take my meds. So live stream, I mean, it does take focus, but I like it, so I can naturally lock in. But emails and laundry, I think that's why I took it, because I have 88 unread emails and some are actually important, and I have a whole big thing of laundry. But when it gets to be too late, I tell myself that it's better to hold off and then just wake up early, then take your medications, and then knock out the difficult thing. My goodness. Book by Grace, you see what I'm talking about, right? Do we have a Facebook group? We have a free Discord. Link is in the bio. We have a Patreon also as well. And the Patreon is the best way to get your questions answered in video form. So we have that. Oh yeah, I gotta give myself grace. I give myself grace for sure, for sure. And Katie says, "Did you have a thing you wanted to tell us about?" Well, Katie, at this point, I'll be up all night. Which is, I mean, what y'all want to know? What y'all want to know? I'm gonna be here all night. Uh, Connie, are you a fan too? Are you a fan as well? I can tell you're a loyal person if you're a fan. Isn't AuDHD to link words to song or shows? Ah, it could be if you start to stem. Like I stem my way into and out of songs. This weather isn't helping. What type of weather you have over there? Now that is pretty neurodivergent quoting things. Okay, all right. So you're a Titans fan. You're a Titans fan. Okay, I grew up there. Stemming can definitely be singing. It can definitely be singing. And 2010 Nina about the meds. It could be a side effect. It just depends on you and your genetics and what medication you're taking. Bishop says, "How do you deal with being overwhelming as an adult?" Don't judge yourself. Overwhelming to who? Oh, that's very subjective. Overwhelming to who? Your partner, your coworkers, your employees. Roll Tide. Roll Tide. Go Vols and go Titans. The Vols my third favorite college team. Does anyone listen to the same song and repeat? Oh yeah, that's a very neurodivergent thing. How many people have you met who match your vibe when you quote STEM though? Normally my friends tend to do this. My friends or whoever I'm dating, like we tend to be on the of same type of time, honestly. Humming, vocal stimming is our family's thing. I think my son just sprained his finger from hand flapping. Ooh, hopefully he's not hurting too much. All right. All right. I will end the stream at 2 hours. So I'll give myself 3 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. A 5 minute countdown is about right. What's the best way to beat procrastination? To just do it. But make it fun for yourself. Turn it into a game. Turn it into a game. Put a timer. One thing that I used to do back when I was heavy into my gardening phase, which I'm not sure if I should even mention it, but I would take a special gummy, I'll take me an adult multivitamin gummy, if you know what I'm talking about, and I will tell myself that I have 35 minutes to get my work done before it kicks in. So that was my timer. I'm like, all right, I just took this Flintstones gummy, and I got a half an hour to get everything in before it kicks in. So that would work because I had to do my thing, or else, like I would only have 30 minutes to lock in before the gummy takes a hold of me. And once that Flintstones multivitamin takes a hold of you, there's no telling how high or how low you can get. So like that actually, in a weird way, would actually help me. It actually, I don't know if it's a relatable thing, but it worked. It worked because like I would quickly do everything I had to do because I'm like, all right, this gummy's gonna hit me, and when it hits me, there's no telling like how much time I got left. Like I gotta hurry up. I gotta hurry up. So that worked, but I'm sure there's other, family-friendly ways to get that done. After watching videos, I realized that that's AuDHD. Okay, Prissy Kate, welcome to the family. Fish oil can be helpful. I heard somebody talk about, or I saw somebody talk about omega-3s. Those could be helpful. Chelsea was good, and no one else has done that before. Okay. a lot of our experiences are not unique. I always felt like I didn't fit in when I was younger, and always felt like I didn't fit and couldn't follow conversations, and then at other times accidentally interrupt others, and then realize feel bad. And now it's making sense to you, huh? It's making sense to you. I set an alarm to clock back into work from lunch. Mac, I always needed alarms for that because I would try and take me an hour lunch break, and I'm like, you can't do that. So the alarms were always helpful. Alarms were always helpful. By hearing and hearing by. Take care. Thank you. 15-minute timer with the kids. How much can you get done? Okay. Timers are a cheat code in general. We need timers. Timers are so important. Timers are incredibly important. It's 2 hours, but I said I do like a 5-minute. So at 2 minutes and 2 hours and 3 minutes, we got 2 minutes left. And then I do have to get to the gym for real. I may as well take some pre-workout since I'm already doomed for the night. Take some pre-workout. Just stay up. We're staying up tonight. Gary kicks in when I'm in the shower, and suddenly I realize somebody. This is funny. No, this is funny. this is funny, and that's a very nice name. Inara, I never heard that name before. That's a very pretty name. Mac, I'm on the I'm right. Crash tomorrow. I'm on the West Coast, Mac. I'm on the West Coast. 41, recently diagnosed AuDHD. I feel like everything finally made some more sense. Light bulb moment, ain't it? A light bulb moment. And Chelsea says, why does everyone feel like we have a million friends and we feel like we barely have one? Probably because we see so many parts of ourselves in other people. But there's just a few people that really, really, really know us. I know, Stormy, I wanted to hang around longer, but I do have to hit the gym. And speaking of transitions, yeah, the videos that I want to do, I may not do the videos in this suit. The goal right now is to go get a Band-Aid and, cover up this mystery wound and go and hit the gym. There's also leg day, so I'm probably procrastinating because I hate leg days, but I don't want to be out here shaped like a Johnny Bravo. So I need to do leg days so that way we have, symmetry. Mac, it's time to get those gains. I'm going to get those gains in. So I'm excited. Yeah, I can't be out here shaped incorrectly. Yeah, so it's leg day. All right, cool. All right, that is it for tonight's live stream. Let me see. We're not traveling this weekend. Okay, cool. Let's let's come back again. Live. We'll go live again tomorrow. My live stream days that I have as a minimum, is Tuesdays and Thursdays. We've streamed every single day this week, and I am behind on some stuff, but we've streamed every single day this week, and it's I like it. I like hearing from y'all. It's super cool. We'll be back on the live stream again tomorrow. Same time, 6:00 California time. We'll take the weekends off, but we will stream again tomorrow. I want to have to come back again on this live stream. I'm gonna go hit the gym, get the priority stuff done, but the goal tonight, realistically, is to get to bed before 1 a.m. Honestly, like this Adderall is already in my system, so we're gonna make the most of it. But the goal is to get to bed between 12 and 1, and then tomorrow we can reset. All right, until Tomorrow's live stream, which is 9 o'clock New York time, 8 o'clock Nashville time, 7 o'clock Phoenix, 6 o'clock in Los Angeles, 5 o'clock in Alaska, 4 o'clock in Hawaii. I think it's also 2 a.m. in the United Kingdom, from what my UK boys and girls have told me. So until tomorrow's stream, I'm going to see y'all then. Y'all try and get some sleep tonight. I will do my best. Take care. Love y'all.